Hello everybody, it's me, your old pal Max West. I draw comics and children's picture books, and in this video I'm going to be working on some more Poison Ivy Gulch. I'm going to be finishing this one, as well as starting to ink another one. My supply of comic strip artboards, it's running out, so I ordered up some new. Now you're probably wondering where I got these. Now there's a website called Blue Line Pro. Besides various comic book supplies, like comic book drawing paper, pencils, pens, inks, that kind of stuff. They also sell various kinds of artboards, like for manga, for the traditional comic book. They also sell comic strips, comic strip paper in this size. That's where I get these. Right here. Just using my eraser here. Using an eraser, plastic eraser. I got more of these, and this, a drafting brush to get rid of all the eraser shavings. And this is the second video I'm shooting with my tripod. In the next couple of days, I am going to be investing in a better camera. Alright, now that that's all done, let's get some more light here. Alright, I got my black ink, I got my jar of water, and I've got my paper towel for cleaning my pen and my brush. Oh yes, that reminds me, I had to invest in a new brush. I should have one coming soon, along with the comic strip artboards. There's not much here I'm going to be doing. Just going to be masking in the black ink with brush, and also adding in a couple of details here on the page. Alright. Oh yes, I have to do the black stripes here that are on Gordon the Snake. All right. Alright, just doing this here. There we go. Now that I've actually masked in areas with black ink, you see how much better that looks? Huh? It's not quite finished yet. I just have a few more details to put in. Just gonna put in some specks of dirt there. And he's going to a very sandy soil there out in the Badlands. And I'm going to sign the last panel. There we go. As you see, I got my Speedball 512 nib. Alright. There we are, adding in some dots. Alright, let's finish by just signing this. And there, friends, we have a finished comic strip. I'll give you one last look before I let this dry and move on to the next one. Alright, let's have another look at this. The finished product. There you go. Alright. Now here's an interesting one I'm working on. This one has Saloon Girl, Lorraine Hester. Apparently a patron in the Poison Ivy Gulch Saloon is recounting one of his exploits. Now when I start inking my comics, I always start by lettering, and I still letter the old-fashioned way. I use this. This is a Speedball C6 nib, which I dip in ink. Other people will prefer different tools. Some may want some kind of marker. You know, maybe they might use a fine liner marker like these Statler pigment liners. Or this. I used to use this. This is a Pilot Precise V5 rolling ball pen. And yet others may use, I think I've got some here, a Rapidograph technical drawing pen like this. Alright. Well, enough with the demonstration. Enough with that. Let's just move on here to inking this comic strip. Alright, there we go. Probably in a future video, I'll see if I can give you a demonstration of drawing one of these comic strips from start to finish. Lettering, whether you're doing it by hand or if you do it on the computer, it takes a lot of practice. It takes time to get used to. You know, you got to learn what to do, how to do it right, and build up your skill. Some of my very early lettering was very atrocious. Some people still claim it is, and those same idiots also like to attack my drawing as being bad. Of course, we know they're wrong. Alright. Alright, let's just move on here. Now you see how much crisper and cleaner this looks when I render it in ink. Yeah, here the character, he's an old soldier, implied to have lived through been in the Civil War, which does make sense. Poison Ivy Gulch is set during the 1870s, still the heyday of the Old West. Now, I'll be honest with you, the Old West was actually shorter than many of us think. It was roughly a 50-year period. I mean, first, it's roughly about 1840 to 1890. 1840, you had the beginning of the 1840s. That marked the completion of the Oregon Trail in about, I think that was 1843. That marked a big westward expansion. And then in 1848 and 1849, you had the California Gold Rush. I mean, people dropped just whatever they were doing and went to California to look for gold. 1890 itself is usually considered to be the end of the Old West. You know, at least the classic period, heavily romanticized in the media. It was because in 1890 that was considered the end of the Indian Wars, as well as the U.S. Census Bureau declared the frontier was closed as there was no more land to give away. Yeah, when I was working on Poison Ivy Gulch, I did a lot of research into the history of the Old West. I still do sometimes. Alright, so we got the lettering done. You see how much better this looks? You see that? Huh? Huh? Alright, now as usual, I'm going to be doing the panels. Switch over to my nice thick Speedball C6 nib. Usually when I do the comic strip, Poison Ivy Gulch, I draw the panel lines freehand. With most of my other work, like Sunnyvale Stories or Dominic and Claire, I don't draw those freehand. I'll use a ruler and a T-square. Again, this is meant to be a gag western. This is more like Blazing Saddles as well as Tumbleweeds, that comic strip. I mean, ever since, we had the western, we've also had parodies. That's standard with any kind of genre. I mean, we've had, in the newspapers, we've had Tumbleweeds and Red Eye. On the silver screen, we've had Blazing Saddles and Three Amigos. Cartoons. There's been Hoot Kloot, as well as many spoofs in classical cartoons like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. Alright. Now that I've got the letters and the panels, the next step, I'm just going to do these speech balloons. Probably in the future, I'm going to see if I can do some instructional videos. I'll show you things about lettering, drawing, making speech balloons and such. Alright, I'm going to let this sit for a while. Probably let this dry. Because, yeah, the ink on there is still very wet. I think probably it's a good time to end this video, as we're running for almost 15 minutes now. I'll pick this up later. Well, that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to see more about Poison Ivy Gulch, just go to the website, poisonivygulch.com. It's in the video description below. Until next time, everyone, this is me, Max West, saying goodbye.